Hi, everybody. We are looking at scanning, and this is the second part. We're going to look at a couple of exceptions to the rule. Just to review, we have dactylic hexameter, right? So there's a lot of different meters, a lot of different beats to Latin poetry, but we're looking at the poetry of epic poetry, the meter of epic poetry, and that's called dactylic hexameter. And that means that our line is made up of 6 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And each foot is made up of either a dactyl, long, short, so like here, fox quoque, or a spondy, long, oh so. Okay. Um, we have learned that a vowel is long if it comes in front of two consonants, or if it's just naturally long. It's naturally long because we've got that macron there. Okay. We have also learned two little wrinkles. Okay. One is when you have a QU, that U is not really a syllable, right? I'm saying quo, I'm saying two syllables. Quo and then que. So this U isn't anything. In fact, QU is just one letter. It's called a labiovelar. And if you think back about your Latin, you have never seen a U without or you've never seen a Q without a U immediately following it. Okay, so we are going to sort of pretend that that U doesn't exist. All right, so QU, que, is just one consonant. So we're not going to mark it because we're not saying kuo, kue. That'd be 4 syllables. It's quo, que. So quoque, short. So that's one thing, right? Here's another U we can just erase and ignore. Now, the other thing is the liquid L and R rule, and we see this right here in this thing. We've got a vowel I followed by two consonants TL. Okay, so it's long, right? That's the rule. Vowel followed by two consonants. But notice in the very next part here, my two consonants also C, and we have an R. So again, my two consonants here, this A should be long. But the rule is that if one or both of those consonants in that consonant cluster is an L or an R, or maybe two L's or two R's, or an L and an R, whatever, then we actually can make this long or short, whatever we want it to be. So this is how we came up with this line, and then we practice with these other lines. Now, let's do another one, and here's another exception, but it's an easy one, and it's very simple. Every time you see an X, the vowel in front of it, the syllable, really, the syllable in front of it is long. And that's because X, and you can kind of hear it even when I'm saying it, is really K and S combined. It's really two consonants combined into one. That's the deal. So every time you see an X, the vowel, really the syllable in front of it is long. All right? That's it. That's it. Simple. All right. So let's practice with this line now that we know this X rule and we want to apply all the other rules that we have learned. So pause it, do this line, come back. All right. Hopefully we have done the line. We have unpaused. Now we're going to check our work. Now remember, here is here's our rules, right? It's long if it's got a macron. So I know that's long. I know this is long right here. And if it's in front of two consonants, so there's an M, there's an N. Okay. Now here's an R and a B. Now remember, that's a liquid L or R rule. So that actually could be long or short. Now remember, the last line of dactylic hexameter is always going to be just bum. Okay. So I know that that's going to be long. That's a piece of cake. Now, if I keep going, I see R and N, and again, that could be long or short, and there's kind of a lot of uncertainty here. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to mark it yet. Let's just go back here to the beginning. I see I followed by a T, that's short. I see S followed by A, so, okay, that's going to be short. Now, say this word for me, auspicio. Notice not auspicio, but auspicio. Okay, there's 4 syllables, which means that we need 4 marks here. And I'm saying ow. And I've got 2 vowels that come together that form a diphthong. Okay, and all diphthongs, whether they're AU or AE or what, they are always long. So diphthongs, so AE, AU, OE, as in like poina, even some odd ones like OU or OI, they're all long because they're two vowels coming together to form a long sound. So ow, and then I coming before just the C. So there's a short, and then another I, and that comes before a vowel. So I know that that's, let me make that a little bit better here. I know that that's short. Now, A coming in front of a V, I coming in front of a vowel. There's an, now we see, okay, that actually is long. We need it to be long. Now, maybe we screwed up, but we're going to find out we didn't, because when we keep going, we see long, long. So there's a spondy. We see long, short, short, and then long, long. Now, here's the deal. Two consonants, but one of them is an R, so it's short. So we did it. Okay, hopefully you did it too, even with the difficulty maybe of that diphthong. Okay, so we had the X rule, and then we also learned about diphthongs. Diphthongs are always long. Okay, let's talk about another rule. And again, a pretty simple one here. And it's the letter H. H, believe it or not, everybody, not really a consonant. It's just a rough breathing sound. In fact, in Greek, they don't even really have a separate letter for it. They just have a little symbol over a vowel to let you know, hey, this vowel is like ah, or this vowel is like ha, like a rough breathing A sound. H isn't even a consonant, so we're going to ignore it when we're looking at the quantity of that syllable. So for instance, I see an H here in per seponen, okay? Now remember, our normal rule is that this vowel should be long because it's in front of two consonants. But we learned, right, H is not a consonant, so it's actually just one consonant, P. So I know that that's short. Let's try that again. There we go. So that E is short. Do I see any other H's here? I don't. Now let's keep going here. Let's keep going. Oop, there's an H. Okay, so this U is in front of S and H, but remember that's only one consonant. It's not two. So this U must be short. Okay, so let's go back, and I want you to try and remember our various rules here. Okay, so we might have liquid L and R, that kind of thing. Notice we have a diphthong here, O and E. So we have to think about, remember whatever our diphthong rule is there with O and E. But go ahead and scan this, hit the pause button, scan it, and then we'll come back and take a look. All right, hopefully you unpaused, and hopefully you're seeing that this is long, two consonants. I know one's an R, but we need it to be long. Now this is P short, we knew that. This is an O short because it comes in front of just one N, okay, one consonant. Well, that's automatically long because it's got a macron, that's nice and easy. This A comes just in front of one consonant, I, in front of zero consonants actually. And so we're going to mark that as short. I'm going to kind of have to squeeze it to make room. There's the I that's long. There's an I that's short, A that's short, because both of them come in front of just one consonant there. Now here is our diphthong. Did you remember? It's got to be long, right? So oi. All right. And then and then I wonder, did you scratch out this U? I wonder if you did. I kind of do that just to remind myself that that U doesn't count. And then there's your E. All right. And then we have our long E. That's long because it is long. And then we have a short A because it's only followed by one consonant, a short E because it's only followed by one consonant, and then a long E because it's followed by two. And then we're going to go ahead and mark this long. But to be honest, we don't know really what the quantity is. So sometimes you'll see people just marking it like this because you don't know. It's long or short. It's just the end of the line. And tem. That's it. But if you would like to go ahead and mark it as a long mark. Okay, so if we did our job right, we should have 6 syllables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we did. Okay, now pause it. Try this line. Now we've already marked that H consideration, but go ahead and try this line and see what you come up with. All right, now let's scan it. Long, short, short, long. There's a liquid L or R rule, but we need it to be long. Super, and then A, and then deus. There's your H. Remember, it's not a consonant. Okay, now C and B, so that's long. And then that's long, or short, short, long, and then we have short, and we have short, and then we have long, and then, uh-oh, we've screwed up, because look at this last syllable. I should have just boom, boom, but I've got aura and est. All right, now everybody, I'm fibbing a little. We got a problem, but we actually don't, because there's another rule that I'm going to teach you here, and this is the rule called elisions, okay? Now here's the rule. When you have one word ending with a vowel and another word beginning with the vowel, the very next word beginning with a vowel, this vowel, now we're going to call this elides. It elides into the next one. So we're basically just going to ignore this vowel, and we're only looking at this vowel. Now this vowel is in front of an S and a T, so we know that syllable is long there. But elisions happen when we have one word ending with a vowel and the very next word beginning with vowel. Notice they don't have to be the same vowel, and notice I don't care what the quantity of this is. It could be a long A, a short A, it doesn't matter. It could even be a diphthong. If this were ori and then it had an est at the end, we would actually get rid of the whole AE there, okay? So this actually scans correctly because we're saying orest, okay? We're ignoring that A completely. So let's look at our elisions here, all right? Now remember, we are looking for where one word ends with a vowel and the next word begins with a vowel. So I want you to see if you can find the elision. There's only one of them. Find the elision in this line. And it is right here. It ends with E. It begins with an I. So guess what? We are going to actually ignore that E. And what we have here is nullos quin. So notice that E just kind of immediately goes away. Okay, find the next one here. We've got elision. We got one elision in this line 13. See if you can find it. Hit the pause button. All right, if you've unpaused, you have hopefully found the elision here. So tai nari est. We're going to ignore completely this A. Okay? All right. Find the elision in this line. Hopefully we have found, just like we did here, right? We have found here's the E, and that E elides into the A. So we have pulsis quad, Carmen and Airwis. All right, try one more. One more. Pause it. All right, everybody, look. Calsa, we, no, that's not right. Ooh, here we go. Look, we, I, and then est. Now remember, this is a diphthong, but it doesn't matter. We're going to ignore that entire thing, and this elides into this. So guess what? This is pronounced calsa we est. Calsa we est. Con junx in quam calca to venenum. Okay? So there we go. So we have elisions where the word ends with one vowel, begins with another one, and we're going to just cross out that initial vowel. And so it's nullos quin, tai nari est, pulsis quad, we est. Okay? All right. Last big rule. It's still elisions, but it's a different kind of elision. When we have some sort of vowel with an M, so puel lam, amicum, even like whim, the word for force or violence, like I am. So when we have a vowel plus an M, and then the next word begins with a vowel, the entire vowel plus M goes away. Okay? Now there is one of these instances in this line 38, and I want you to see if you can find it. You're looking for a vowel with an M, and then the very next word begins with a vowel? See if you can find it. Hit pause. Okay. Hopefully we have found that. Now there's an AM, but notice the next word begins with a P. So that's not what we're talking about. Look, kertum, and then est, everybody. So there's the vowel plus the M, and then there's an E, and guess what? We're going to just do this. We're going to ignore that whole thing. So it's care test. That's it. Okay, try it again. Try it with this one. And let's see what we can come up with. And look, it's the same thing, actually in the same position. Eodem, and then est. And so we're going to get rid of that entire EM, and it's aligning into the est. So eodest is how we would mark that. Okay, now one final test. Let's see, this is kind of putting everything together. Scan this line. Can I give you a hint here? Look how long it is. Probably a lot of dactyls, right? Because dactyls are 3 syllables, spondies are just 2. So there's probably a lot of dactyls. Or maybe there's a bunch of elisions. Who knows? All right, give it a shot. Pause it. Let's go. All right, everybody. Hopefully you're back. Hopefully we are correct. Let's find out. Now look, macron, so we know that that syllable's long. Macron, we know that that syllable's long. Macron, macron. Now remember, here's your is, and so let's just go ahead and we're just going to mark that last foot. And remember the second to last foot, so let's go back at the top, remember, was always bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum bum. Second to last foot is always a dactyl, and then we got that spondy, or really there's even a special name for it. It's called a trochee. But it's bum ba bum bum bum. Okay, so plain a tim or ris. There we go. All right. Now remember, the first syllable or the first foot is usually a dactyl. Let's see if it works. Hopefully we remember use. We're going to ignore those. In fact, we saw even the same thing up above earlier. And this is O and then A. Okay, now look. Some of you, I threw you a curveball. Some of you are looking at that I and go, Mr. Yagi, that's an I. Guess what, everybody? It isn't. You know as well as I do that not all I's in Latin are created equal. Say this word for me. You have 2 choices. It is either it unxit or it's junxit. And if you said junxit, you're right. That word is jungo, jungere, junxi, junctus. And that I is really the consonantal I. It's really a J. So that's a consonant, everybody. So we're not going to mark that I. We're not going to align that E into that I. It is wos, quoque, jung. Now remember here, T with an A in front or after it. So short, short with just the M. Now here's an R and a P. So liquid L or R could be long or short, but we need it to be long. It's the first foot or first syllable in the foot. Now here's R with an E. Okay, so that's short. That's easy. Now here's an O in front of an H, but remember everybody, an H is not a consonant. We're going to completely ignore that H, and guess what that means? Look at this. Oh my gosh, look. O and then AE. This means that this entire thing elides. And remember diphthongs? Those are always long. And then loca. So that was pretty tough. There was a lot going on in this line, and I wouldn't blame you if you missed it, but I'm really hoping that we've connected all of those dots and connected all of those rules. The only thing we didn't really see there is maybe the X, right, like we had up here where it's just an X, and we know that that syllable's long. So, vos quoque junxit amor per egaic loca plenatemoris. Bum 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 bum. All right, so that nice typical beat. And remember what I said at the beginning is that it looks like a long line, and so it looks like it probably is going to have a lot of dactyls in it. And sure enough, bum 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 bum. All dactyls except for the mandatory last spondy slash trochee, because again, we don't really know what this final syllable is, long or short. Okay, so that is your basic scanning tutorial, even with some of those exceptions. We will keep practicing, and soon this is going to be a piece of cake. Bye, everybody.